Welcome students to the sixth part of the video from the chapter 2, that is Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. In this video I will tell you about that how Russian society became a socialist society and what were its global impact. So let us begin with our topic. Dear students, in the previous video I have told you that Bolsheviks came into the power, and when they came into the power they started suppressing the rights and voices of the other groups. So that makes a ground for the another war that was known as the Civil War. Now the non-Bolshevik group, you can say the socialists, liberals, and the supporters of the autocracy, they organized themselves into a troops so that they can fight against the Bolsheviks. And now the Russian groups were divided into three, that were reds, greens, and whites. Now reds consist of the Bolsheviks, and green consist of the socialist revolutionaries, and whites were the pro-Tsarist, means the supporters of Tsar. Now, these green and whites group, or you can say the socialist revolutionaries and pro-Tsarist, they control most of the Russian Empire, and they were supported by the French, American, and Britain countries. So that now why they were supporting, because they want that socialism should not spread to the other parts of the country. So the civil war started among these troops and Bolsheviks so that they can seize the power in Russia. And even the supporters of private property among the whites, they have taken a very harsh steps against the peasant who seized their lands earlier. Now, such actions led to a loss of support for non-Bolsheviks. As you can see here that Bolsheviks, the non-Bolsheviks were using a very harsh measures against the peasants and all. So they lost the support of the commons. And by 1920, the Bolsheviks controlled most of the Russian Empire. Means the people were supporting the Bolsheviks. So as the Bolsheviks were having most of the control in the Russian Empire, so they want that socialism should grow more and more in Russia. So for that, what they do, they massacred the local nationalists in the name of defending socialism in Central Asia. So, with the expanding power of Bolsheviks, the common people of Russia were suffering as they were not allowed to speak anything against the government. Even the unions were not allowed to form. So, finally, on December 1922, the Soviet Union, that is USSR, was created by Bolshevik from Russian Empire, and this made the Bolshevik more powerful. Now, the next important topic is making a socialist society. As the country was held by the Bolsheviks, so they nationalized the banks and industries, and the means the farmers and peasants, they were asked to work on a collective farms. Means collective farms means on a one piece of land, the farmers have to work together. Then the centralized planning was introduced, which means that the authority of the country used to take all the decisions on behalf of the people. And 5-year plan was introduced so that they can target for a economy for the upcoming 5 years. And with this, they target to have new industries in Russia. So this led to a huge industrial growth in Russia, and new factories were set up in Russia. So, with the coming of new industries in Russia, it was having a disadvantage that it led to poor working condition of these workers, because as the production increased, they were working for more and more hours, which definitely make their life miserable. Even many time it was seen that there were frequent stoppage in these factories, like 550 stoppage of work in the first year alone. So all this made the life of workers miserable in these factories. So to improve the condition of these workers, the government has taken following steps. First, an extended schooling system for workers and peasants was started by the government. Even the creches were established in these factories for the children of the women workers. Creches is the place where the children of the women, those who are working in the factories, were looked after. Then cheap public health facilities were provided to them, and a good model living quarters were provided and set up for them so that the healthy environment should be provided to them. Now, the efforts made by the government here were very limited because the government was having very limited resources in their hands. So the condition was not improved much. Now we finish the major portion of this chapter. I have told you about the February Revolution, October Revolution, and how socialism spread in Russia. Now, after the death of Lenin, Joseph Stalin became the most important person in Russia. Joseph Stalin was the leader after the Lenin, and he became the member of Russian Communist Party. And the ideas of his were dominated in USSR, and that period came to be known as Stalinism. Now, after coming into power, Stalin introduced one policy known as collectivization. According to this policy, combining land of various farmers and then performing the agriculture activities on collective basis. And under this policy, the farmers were asked to pool the lands and cultivate the land collectively so that it could increase the food production in Russia. Now, what were the reason behind the following the policy of collectivization was that in Russia the country was facing the problem of shortage of food grains. So, to overcome this problem, the government fixed the prices, but the peasants refused because the major portion of land was under the control of the rich peasants who were known as kulaks and the traders in the countryside who were holding the stock so that they could get a higher prices for that. So the government used the repressive policies against these kulaks, like grain producing areas were told by the party so that they can supervise the grain collection, and many times these kulaks were raided by the government officials. Then after having so much of control over these kulaks, then also the Russia was facing the shortage of grains. Now another reason given by the Stalin was that maybe the Russia is facing the shortage of food due to small size of land holdings. Now he decided to introduce a policy of collectivization where the lands of the farmers can be pooled and farmers can do the cultivation on a collective land. So he decided to eliminate the kulaks, and the large estates control farm must be established. And from 1929, peasants were forced to cultivate in collective farms, and then profit has to be shared among these farmers. So, in spite of the collectivization policy of Stalin, the production did not increase in Russia, and the Russia faced the bad harvest from 1930 to 1933. Due to that, there was a devastating famines, and because of that, 4 million deaths were there in Russia. So the policy of Stalin was failed, and due to all this, there were criticism of planned economy and collectivization. Means that people don't like the policies framed by the Stalin. Now, here we finish our the most important topics of this chapter. Now, the last topic is global influence. Means how socialism spread to other parts and what people think about socialism in other countries. Now, in many countries, communist parties were formed. Like example, Communist Party of Great Britain, due to the impact of socialism in Russia. And by the Second World War, USSR had given socialism a global face and world stature. And by the end of 20th century, the international reputation of USSR as a socialist country had declined. Why? Because, as you know, that socialism was spread in Russia, but the essential freedom to its citizens were not given. So, due to the repressive policies of the government which came in Russia, the socialism didn't get that much popularity which it should gain. But still, you find many social idols still enjoy respect among its citizens. So, with this, we have come to an end to this chapter. Now, I am attaching some of the important questions from this chapter. Please note it down somewhere in your copy. Thank you.